Hi, guys. So, today we're going to talk about how we unconsciously victimize ourselves, and it's something that is not our fault, right? It just comes from a what we were born into, from a lower understanding. Our parents' is all our families were victimized. They're born into a system that victimizes itself, which is it a system that feeds on itself, right? It's a lower animal nature. If you look at the way beasts, the beasts of the field feed on each other, and it's not evil, it's not bad. And so, when we create that judgment in our mind, when we see somebody feeding off somebody else, we have this idea, say, oh, that's evil. And then we fall into this feeling of we need to elevate ourselves above that state instead of understanding that that person or whoever that was are just bought into a lie. They're not any different than we are, right? All of us are exactly the same. All of us are whole. This is something that, Jesus came into this higher understanding, and people didn't understand it because he'd come to people who are sick and look, and he'd say, you are whole because I am whole. Because he recognized that he was the same as everyone. There's so many powerful messages in the Bible, but it gets construed. And so our religious system has been built around that to make people feel like they need to worship that individual when he was trying to teach you who you are, that you are just like him. You are whole. And if you believe you're a whole, you'll be healed. Because he never said, my faith made you whole. He said, your faith made you whole. You can't heal somebody that doesn't want to be healed. Can't do it, right? So until you heal your mind, you won't get healed. And so this old mentality of victimizing each other represents itself in all of our current systems, right? You can point to every single system that we have in society, and it attempts to victimize you, to control you, because that's what those people went through. It's just coming from a lower understanding. It's coming from a beast nature, right? We're just evolving out of a beast nature. So it's okay, don't worry about, do your best not to judge other people for living in a low understanding, or even judging yourself, because all of us are coming to greater understandings of ourselves. And until you really understand yourself and understand that any kind of negative thinking you have of yourself is just coming from a lower thinking, a lower understanding, then, it'll always pull you down into a lower state, unless you get to where you can understand yourself from the highest perspective, which is just the long evolution of the soul. And even the evolution that we're going through is just a small fraction of how we're going to start embodying higher and higher energetic levels, because they're going to start moving more and more information and energy through the body. If the average IQ is 115 now, it could be 250 or 350, as we go through this evolutionary jump. But that does 10,000 years after that, the average IQ might be 1,000. Right? I mean, it's like, if it's all relative, we're constantly moving into higher awarenesses of ourselves. And we're right at that evolutionary jump where we're going to stop feeding off of each other and just start co-creating this reality together. So you're never trying to sell yourself to anybody, because you don't need to elevate yourself above anybody anymore. Why do I need to sell anything to you guys? I don't need to sell anything. I'm just going to be me. And so, that whole system does that. I mean, think about our education system. As soon as you get forced into learning something, then it kind of victimizes you, right? As you're a child, you're like, why do I got to learn this? I'm not even interested in this. Somebody else thinks that I need to learn this. But if you allow, it's just like growing a plant, right? I mean, if you water a tree and you don't feed it what it wants, it will atrophy. But if you feed a plant exactly what it needs and exactly what it wants, and it's always going to want something different depending on the time of year. So the farmer knows what seeds to plant and how to harvest and cultivate those seeds by listening to the people around them and what they need. And so by doing that, you're elevating growth in the people around you and yourself, because you're, what do I need right now? Listening to your own body and saying, hey, look, I think I need to take a break. I think I need to reflect and honor my emotions and feel supported, because I deserve love. You guys deserve love. And if you don't think you deserve love, you're always going to be looking for love out there. It's a hard lesson for all of us to learn. Hard lesson that I had to learn over a long time, because I had to understand, that, I was always in support of everybody around me, right? But then I'm not getting what I want. And so the people that came in and out of my life were people that I felt like I had to, support the whole time. And I never got the support that I wanted, that I needed, because I didn't realize that, at the deepest level, I still had some wounding and some, if you ever are looking at yourself in a negative light at all, you're not going to feel like you deserve the love that you're the infinite amount of love that you actually deserve. And so you end up dying to go back to a higher energetic state to experience that love before you come back. It's like, well, maybe I'll learn it this time. Maybe I'll remember this time of who I am, that I am a creator. I'm not a victim. I create the reality around me, and that I deserve love the same way that God loves me, that I am God, right? That's when the two merges. And when you finally embody your crown chakra and it comes down into your heart space, because your heart's connected to every other thing in reality. And as long as you keep surrendering to your heart and loving the people around you unconditionally, you come into higher understandings of yourself, and then you'll understand that that's all we are. It's just a creator. And so you get to the place where you can just create anything. And then all that information of whatever you want to create is always sitting right here. And all you have to do is surrender to it. And then you're no longer a victim, because now you're actively creating it from your heart space, and you're loving at everyone around you the way you see them, because now you understand who you are. You don't have to question who they are anymore. They're questioning who they are, right? Because they don't understand yet, and they're still trying. They might be living in a system where it's victimizing them, right? You're going to work for somebody's telling you what to do, or any number of things. You might be trying to sell yourself as a coach to somebody and saying, hey, I have something of value that you need, not understanding that everybody has. If I tried to sell something to you and said, hey, look, I have something that you need, I'm not empowering you to understand that you have everything you need right here. And your love for the people around you is all you need. Right? Very personal message. I hope you guys get this one. It's really important, because it's very easy to live in an unconscious state where you feel like you need to, in order to be safe, that you have to sell yourself for money, or else you're not safe. But this, physical vessel is created by you. So why not just create for the people around you? You're just a conductor of love and light, right? So yeah, and all those old systems, they'll finally start going away as soon as people understand this, and really start to, because the system is going to break down. It has to. It can only feed on itself for so long, right? I mean, think about how much stuff is trying to feed off of you every day. Everything on TV is trying to feed off of you. It's hard to find, and you do find channels that are inputting love and great messages into you. There's a lot of higher level tarot card readers. You know, there are different levels of tarot card readers and psychics out there. Some of them are sending messages of just people feeding off each other, right? And, you know, trying to make sure you're overcoming those false perceptions of, you know, judging people because they just don't understand yet. Or jealousy, right? People fall into jealousy because they're jealous of somebody else's position or knowledge or where they're at or how they are, you know. I mean, it's all stuff that you're energetically feeding off each other, and it's all unconscious because you haven't really reconciled with yourself. And as soon as you get to that final reconciliation with yourself, nothing can affect you, right? I mean, who can tell you who you are once you know for a fact who you are? You don't need to sell yourself anymore. All you gotta have to do is create. And everything is an extension of you because we're all one. And so all you have to do is create that image in your mind, and you can create anything you want. Believe me. Once you belief turns into understanding, once you understand how everything works, and you'll actually end up like changing your whole body chemistry, because your mind, you are a manifestation of your thinking and your power and your self-awareness. That's why yogis, you know, they master their bodies, because, you know, your body's running unconsciously all the time, your heart rate, all this stuff. But once you start coming into higher and higher states of awareness and you become fully aware that you are it and it is you, then you'll be able to start controlling everything, right? Whether or not you're tired, whether or not you're sleepy. I mean, last night, I worked out late last night just because it was a different kind of day. And then I stayed up, I just laid there in bed, and I just wasn't tired. I was just kind of laying there in a meditative state. Different things going through my mind. I was thinking about that dream I had with my cat. And I was like, so I just kind of laid there, and I think I fell asleep at like 5:30 in the morning, and I woke up at 7:30, like a couple hours. I think it was like 7 o'clock. I think I slept for an hour and a half, and I remember that my dad had a nurse showing up, because my dad is you know, unconsciously victimizing himself for years. And you know, he's going through what he needs to go through. But all of us go through what we need to go through. And you never judge, just there to support and then offer assistance according to somebody's level of understanding. Never try to push on anybody. Never try to force anybody to learn anything, because that's pointless, right? Everybody's ready to learn something at a different time. So as long as you recognize that and just water the plant, and we're able to listen to what message needs to be given, then, right? And I thought about doing readings, but these are readings in and of themselves, right? Every day I'll get a download, and I'll be given something to give you guys that maybe you guys need to hear. So I love you guys, because you're a part of me. I'm a part of you. So, yeah. I think today, after this, I have some stuff I got to do here. Tell me in the comments what you're doing with your day. Even if you don't like this video, and if you don't like it, that's fine. But just tell me what you're doing. I would just like to hear about you and what you're doing. And if you decide that you ever would like to meet me or anything, you can get a hold of me on my channel, and we can meet in person. You know, I don't ask for money. I just don't, because it would limit my ability to be with you, right? So, love you guys, and I'll catch you later.